On March 28, 1955, Reba Nell McEntire was born in McAlester, Oklahoma, to Clark Vincent and Jacqueline Smith McEntire. The third of 4 children, she was raised on her family's 8,000-acre family ranch in Chalky, Oklahoma, and traveled frequently to watch her father compete at rodeos. Her father was the world champion steer roper in 1957, 1958, and 1961, an honor her grandfather John McEntire also won in 1934. She would later follow in the family tradition by participating in barrel racing competitions from the time she was 11 years old until she was 21. Her mother, a former schoolteacher and secretary to the superintendent of Kiowa High School, had once harbored dreams of being a country music singer. Instead, she had 4 children and taught them how to sing and harmonize on the long car trips. While in high school, Reba joined her older brother Paik, who later had his own country music career, and younger sister Susie, who would grow up to become a gospel singer, as members of the Kiowa High School Cowboy Band, and recorded a single, The Ballad of John McEntire, for Boss Records in 1971. Her older sister Alice, runner-up to the IFR Barrel Racing Championship that same year, never sought a musical career, but was always a strong supporter of her family. Soon after, the 3 musical siblings formed their own group, the Singing McEntires, and performed frequently at rodeos, clubs, and dance halls. After high school ended, Reba went to college at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, later graduating in 1976 with a major in elementary education and a minor in music. Reba sang the national anthem at the National Rodeo Finals in Oklahoma City on December 10, 1974. Her performance so impressed Red Steagall, who was also performing at the event, that he invited her to Nashville to record demos for his music publishing company. After recording Reba during her spring break in March 1975, Steagall shopped her tapes around Nashville and secured her deal with Polygram Mercury Records in November. Although her first recordings were not that successful, Reba worked steadily to build her career. The first single, I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand, peaked at number 88 in 1976, followed in 1977 by There's Nothing Like the Love Between a Woman and a Man at number 86, and Glad I Waited Just for You at number 88, and her self-titled debut album, which did not chart at all. Despite the lack of initial chart success, she was invited to debut on the Grand Ole Opry on September 17, 1977, which happened to be 30 years to the day when her father won the All-Around at the Pendleton, ORG Rodeo. Although her next 2 albums still would not chart, Reba began building momentum when she cracked the top 20 with songs such as 3 Sheets in the Wind, with Jackie Ward, and her cover of Patsy Cline's Sweet Dreams. She achieved her first top 10 hit when You Lift Me Up to Heaven reached number 8 in 1980, and she followed it with the top 5 Today All Over Again. Showing career growth, her 4th album, Heart to Heart, became her first charting album, peaking at number 42 on the Billboard Country Albums chart. Her 5th album, Unlimited, eventually rose to number 22 on the charts and featured her number 3 hit I'm Not That Lonely Yet, as well as her first 2 number 1 hits, Can't Even Get the Blues and You're the First Time I've Thought About Leaving. Reba moved to MCA Records in 1983 and released the album, Just a Little Love 1 year later, featuring the top 5 title cut. She wanted more control over her song selection and album production, and was thrilled when label president Jimmy Bowen allowed her to make the album she wanted to make. She and Bowen would later co-produce several successful albums together. She released My Kind of Country in 1984, and hit number 1 with its first single, How Blue. The album, which featured both new material and covers of songs originally recorded by Ray Price, Carl Smith, Connie Smith, and Farron Young, helped propel Reba to the forefront of the new traditionalists alongside artists such as Ricky Skaggs, George Strait, and Randy Travis. The album also featured her number 1 hit Somebody Should Leave. Her success was rewarded in 1984, when she won the CMA Female Vocalist of the Year award for the first time. She would go on to win this award for 4 consecutive years, 1984 to 1987, and currently is tied with Martina McBride for the most wins in this category. The year 1986 brought further honors, as she joined the Grand Ole Opry in January, and was named CMA Entertainer of the Year in October, an award that recognized her remarkable showmanship in concert. By this time, Reba was a bona fide country music superstar. Her 1986 album Whoever's in New England was her first to be certified gold by the RIAA, and both the title cut and Little Rock became #1 hits. 1 year later, her Greatest Hits album became her first platinum certified album, continuing to sell more than 4 million copies through the years. She continued to rule the charts with hit songs including The Last One to Know and Love Will Find Its Way to You. But her album Reba, which contained the hits Sunday Kind of Love, I Know How He Feels, and New Fool at an Old Game, signaled a change towards a more pop-oriented style. Reba continued in this direction, scoring hits with songs such as Kathy's Clown and Walk On. Proving her business acumen, Reba and her former husband/manager Narvel Blackstock created Starstruck Entertainment in 1988 to handle her management, booking, publicity, publishing, and more. The company went on to work with other artists as well, including Kelly Clarkson and Blake Shelton. In 1990, she gave birth to a son, Shelby Stephen McIntyre Blackstock. She would later share stories from her life in her 1994 autobiography Reba, My Story, and her 1999 book Comfort from a Country Quilt. Years later, she would expand her brand and oversee the creation and development of successful clothing, footwear, luggage, and home collection lines that are sold nationwide in Dillard's. After getting a taste of acting from her music videos, Reba began exploring her options in Hollywood. She first appeared alongside Kevin Bacon and Michael Gross in the comic horror film Tremors in 1990. Over the years, she would continue with roles in movies such as North, 1994, The Little Rascals, 1994, and One Night at McCool's, 2001. She also appeared in a string of television movies, including The Gambler Returns, The Luck of the Draw with Kenny Rogers in 1991, The Man from Left Field with Burt Reynolds in 1993, Is There Life Out There in 1994, based on her hit song and music video, Buffalo Girls in 1995, where she first played Annie Oakley. Forever Love in 1998, also based on her hit song, and Secret of Giving in 1999. Her distinctive voice was heard as the goddess Artemis in the animated television series Hercules, 1998, Betsy the Cow in the movie Charlotte's Web, 2006, and Dixie the Dog in animated movie The Fox and the Hound 2, 2006. But she was never far away from the music, continuing to chart huge hits with You Lie, Rumor Has It, Fancy, Is There Life Out There, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Take It Back, The Heart Won't Lie, a duet with Vince Gill, Does He Love You, a duet with Linda Davis, which won the 1994 CMA Vocal Event of the Year award as well as a Grammy Award for Best Country Collaboration with Vocals, Why Haven't I Heard From You, The Heart Is a Lonely Hunter She Thinks His Name Was John, On My Own, with Davis, Martina McBride, and Trisha Yearwood, The Fear of Being Alone, I'd Rather Ride Around With You, How Was I to Know, Forever Love, If You See Him / If You See Her, with Brooks and Dunn, and more. She also reached #2 on the Billboard Dance Singles chart with her remake of The Supremes' You Keep Me Hangin' On. In 2001, Reba triumphed when she took over the role of Annie Oakley in the Broadway play Annie Get Your Gun, previously played in this revival by Bernadette Peters, Susan Lucci, and Cheryl Ladd. Reba brought new life to the production, and with it came rave reviews, sold-out performances, a Drama Desk Award, and an Outer Critics Circle Award. After performing on Broadway from February through June, Reba moved to Los Angeles to begin her successful television sitcom Reba for the WB Network, later renamed the CW Network. The show debuted in October and remained in production for 6 seasons, signing off in February 2007. The series grew even stronger and gained a larger audience through syndication reruns on the Lifetime Network, and will continue to play for a second round of syndication on ABC Family and CMT through 2014. While starring in and producing the television series, Reba continued to succeed in music with hit songs such as I'm a Survivor, the sitcom's theme song, I'm Gonna Take That Mountain, He Gets That From Me, My Sister, and the #1 hit Somebody. In 2005, she participated in a special concert performance of South Pacific with Alec Baldwin and Brian Stokes Mitchell at Carnegie Hall that was filmed to air on Great Performances on PBS the following year. In 2007, she released Reba Duets, an album that paired her with artists including Kenny Chesney on Every Other Weekend and Kelly Clarkson on Because of You, as well as Ronnie Dunn, Vince Gill, Faith Hill, Don Henley, Carole King, Rascal Flatts, LeAnn Rimes, Justin Timberlake, and Trisha Yearwood. This became her first album to debut at #1 on the Billboard Top 200 album chart. After releasing a 3-disc 50 Greatest Hits album in 2008, Reba left her longtime home at MCA and moved to the Valerie Music label, reuniting her with label president Scott Borchetta. Her first album for her new label, Keep On Loving You, became her second album to debut at #1 on the Billboard Top 200 album chart when it was released in 2009. The album's first single Strange debuted at number 39 on the Billboard Country Singles chart, the highest single chart debut, and the fastest rising single of her career. In addition to the title cut, the album also featured Consider Me Gone, which topped the Billboard Country Singles chart for 4 consecutive weeks and became her longest-running #1 song ever. Her current album, All the Women I Am, hit stores in 2010 and features the hit singles Turn on the Radio, which became the first #1 hit from the new CD, and Reba's remake of Beyoncé's If I Were a Boy, which she performed on the 44th Annual CMA Awards that year. During her 2011 All the Women I Am tour, both Pollstar and Billboard's box score, the touring industry's leading trade outlets, named Reba the #1 female country touring artist, selling a combined total of over 9 million tickets in her career. Reba's life and career were featured in the Reba All the Women I Am exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Nashville, Tennessee. The exhibit contained more than 24 costumes, personal possessions, vintage photographs, and career-spanning audio and video. The exhibit ran from August 9, 2013 to June 22, 2014. In 2017, Reba released her first ever gospel album, Sing It Now, Songs of Faith and Hope. The 2-disc 20-song collection featured classic hymns as well as new inspirational anthems. It debuted at #1 on both the Billboard Country and Christian charts and earned her a Dove and Grammy-registered award. One of the most successful female recording artists in history, Reba has sold over 56 million albums worldwide and is a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Hollywood Bowl Hall of Fame. She has won 15 American Music Awards, 13 ACM Awards, 9 People's Choice Awards, 7 CMA Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, an ACM Career Achievement Honor, and is one of only 4 entertainers in history to receive the National Artistic Achievement Award from the U.S. Congress. Reba's reign of #1 hits spans 4 decades, and Billboard, Country Aircheck and Mediabase recognized her as the biggest female hitmaker in country music history. And new mom Cheyenne, rebellious teen Kyra, and young Jake. The temperamental matriarch struggles with dealing everyone in her home. Reba aired for 6 seasons on the WB and the CW networks. Reba can be seen in syndication on CMT, Freeform, and Hulu. L.R. Jeffrey, Jai Rodriguez, Kim Salinger, Sarah Rue, Lily Mae McKenzie, Lily Tomlin, Reba Gallagher, Reba McEntire, June Gallagher, Juliet Angelo, Cash Gallagher, Justin Prentice, Malibu Country. 2012 to 2013. Country music superstar/actress Reba returns to television as a wife and mother whose world is turned upside down when she discovers that her country music legend husband has a cheatin' heart. On her way to becoming a country star herself, Reba put her career on hold to raise a family. Husband Bobby always emphasized family values in his music, but with the very public discovery of his numerous affairs, Reba decides to not stand by her man. Now, with a divorce pending, Reba packs up her sharp-tongued Southern mother, Lily Mae, Lily Tomlin, and her 2 kids, and U-hauls it straight to sunny California to begin a new chapter in life. Leaving Nashville in the rear-view mirror, they start over at their Malibu residence, the last remaining asset they have, and Bobby's former secret love nest. Once the most popular boy in his Nashville high school, Reba's teenaged son, Cash, Justin Prentice, finds himself feeling positively average compared to the good-looking, affluent Malibu boys, a fate worse than death. On the other hand, Reba's teen daughter, Juliet Angelo, never really fit in with her peers. In Malibu she blends in perfectly and finds a new best friend in Sage, an openly gay neighborhood boy who embraces his sexuality. Tough as nails mom Lily Mae discovers the serenity of Southern California living and fully embraces her new, laid-back, relaxed lifestyle. But Reba learns relocating to Malibu is going to be quite a challenge to her traditional Southern values. The West Coast seems like the polar opposite of Music City, and she feels like an outsider. Her gregarious and very liberal new neighbor and Sage's stepmother, Sarah Rue, doesn't have many friends and immediately attaches herself to Reba, enthusiastically offering to mentor her in becoming a little less country and a bit more California cool. When Reba discovers that trying to revive her career is going to be an uphill battle, she befriends Jeffrey Rodriguez, the assistant to her new music agent. With his help and unorthodox methods, she might yet have a chance to become a chart topper. Still, in the end it's family that matters most to Reba, as each member of hers learns to view this new Malibu lifestyle as a chance to begin anew. Watch Malibu Country on ABC. Annie, Get Your Gun. January 26, 2001 to June 22, 2001 Marriott Marquis Theatre, New York, New York. Reba made her Broadway debut starring as Annie Oakley in the revival of Irving Berlin's Annie, Get Your Gun. Reba's performance was critically acclaimed by theater critics throughout New York, and earned her both a Drama Desk Award and Outer Critics Award. Without qualification, the best performance by an actress in a musical comedy this season. Ms. McIntyre doesn't need a gun to bring Manhattan to its knees. New York Times. She is waif-like cute. She is whimsical. She is eager. She is over-the-top funny. And her singing, substituting country character for Broadway belt, gives the old Berlin numbers a special piquancy. New York Post. Amazingly, this is McIntyre's Broadway debut, in fact, her first appearance in a play of any kind. After a long and fruitful career in Nashville, she suddenly makes Broadway her oyster. New York Journal News. It's safe to place McIntyre on the list of the finest replacements offered in recent seasons. Broadway.com. McIntyre's energy and enthusiasm seem to shed a new glow on the whole production. And of course the particular qualities of McIntyre's lovely singing bring something fresh and exciting to Irving Berlin's score. Variety South Pacific. Broadway loves Reba McIntyre. The red-headed Oklahoma firebrand took on the one-night-only role of Nellie Forbush on June 9, 2005, the role Mary Martin immortalized in the 1949 Rodgers and Hammerstein classic South Pacific, and the Rialto's toughest critics, led by the New York Times' Ben Brantley, instantly surrendered. Open-voiced and open-faced, she was born to play Nellie, Brantley wrote of the Carnegie Hall benefit performance, adding that the entire production was performed in a state of nearly unconditional rapture. It was one of those nights when cynicism didn't stand a chance. That enchanted evening can be shared with fans everywhere, with the South Pacific in concert from Carnegie Hall DVD. Completing the luxury casting are Broadway and Hollywood icons Brian Stokes Mitchell and Alec Baldwin as French planter Émile de Becquet and wise guy sailor Luther Billis. After her successful performance as Nellie Forbush at Carnegie Hall, Reba joined Brian Stokes Mitchell for a 3-night run of South Pacific at the Hollywood Bowl in August 2007.